I saw the presidential heads on social media from a trespasser who got in here a few weeks after they were first here. And then rather than trespassing, I figured out where they were, knocked on the owner's door, and asked if I could come down here to photograph them under the stars, because there was going to be a meteor shower that Saturday night. And he ultimately allowed me and another friend to come down here and shoot them under the stars. To experience these things the first time and to see them up close and personal was absolutely incredible, completely awe-inspiring. They weren't nearly as decayed as they are now, but nonetheless, it's the juxtaposition of these 42 men of significant power basically sitting out in a field decaying. And when you're here by yourself in the middle of the night experiencing that, it was a sensation that was indescribable. These sculptures were created by a gentleman by the name of David Addix. He actually was a painter from Texas who was in Canada visiting friends, and by way of South Dakota he was on his way back to Texas and was inspired after he stopped at Mount Rushmore. Loved what he saw, but was frustrated by the fact that they were so far away, so the personal experience wasn't ideal for him. So he thought, how cool would it be to recreate something like this on a much smaller scale that people can really enjoy up close and personal. So he basically learned the art of sculpting and built 3 sets of 42 of these in his studio in Houston. One of those sets went to a park called President's Park here in Williamsburg, which is about 12 miles from where we stand. So the owner of this property, Howard Hankins, was instrumental in creating the park based on the nature of his business. It was a functional tourist site in Williamsburg from 2004 until 2010. The park wasn't without problems though. There were several things that lent to its ultimate demise, and it went bankrupt in 2010. Sat vacant and abandoned for a little while, and then ultimately when that property was sold, Mr. Hankins was also hired and commissioned to come take every one of these statues, move them and put them in a stone crusher. So he didn't actually have the heart to do that, so he spent a considerable amount of money to take these sculptures and over the course of 3 weeks with a crew of 6, move them one by one 12 miles up the road to the property in which they currently sit. Presidents 1 through 43 are here, George Washington all the way up through Bush Jr. All 42 of these are massive in scope and size. 35 of them are about 15 feet tall and 17,000 pounds. But the sculptor, Mr. Addix, decided that he wanted to commemorate what he called the VIP presidents. So what he did is he interviewed presidential experts, academic historians, as to who they thought were the 7 presidents of most notoriety, and he built those 7 presidents to be about 25% larger than the remaining 35. A lot of people come down here, unfortunately, just for the spectacle of it all. To me, they've inspired me to learn more about these 42 men of power, right? And personally speaking, it's been a great history lesson. It's been a long time since I've learned anything about history, and to come down here and conduct tours for the public, it's forced me to learn a lot about this stuff. So that's what I like most about it.